like earlier this year to talk about Kimbo. It was insane how many people wanted to talk about him. What can you tell us about Kimbo Slice trying to come across to the UFC?
I think it's a good move, man. He's definitely talented, and he's a lot different than people expect. You know, he's probably one of the most humble person I've ever met in my life.
Is that right?
Yeah. Kimbo is super cool, man. He's a super cool guy.
Now, he had the opportunity to go over to Japan and make some pretty good dough there, but decided instead he wanted to get involved here in the UFC. So what does that tell you about him?
You know, one thing about Kimbo is that I talked to him on the show, and he said, you know, all I want to do is just say I was good in the sport. You know, to say when I'm done, said and done, said that I was good. And that to me shows a lot, because a lot of people say stuff about making money and everything else like that, but he's talking about all he wants to do is just be considered good. I think his strength is probably, you know, no, he definitely has power in his hands, but I think his biggest strength is his heart and how fast he learns.
What happened at the fight card on Saturday night when apparently you two got into it a little bit?
What happened Saturday was pretty much the same thing that's been happening, you know, all show. The same thing that's been happening all show. It's that, you know, we seen each other, and it was pretty much the same thing. You know, we got into it again. We got into it, and I mean, it just wasn't the right place, but it just happens every single time we're together. It's always something, you know.
Are you guys like two brothers that don't get along, or two neighbors that just despite one another?
I can't even call it, man. Maybe it's a little bit of the both. I can't even call it, man, because it's like I don't know. I kind of look at him and he sets me off. You know what I'm saying? He sets me off. You know, he could just be walking by me just doing nothing, but I look at him and I just get set off, and it bothers me.
What did you think about what Brock did after the fight then?
I thought it was a bit unnecessary. I thought maybe he was just caught up in the moment too much. You know what I'm saying? I don't dislike him for it, but I just think that it was a bit unnecessary, and he just got caught up in the moment.
Well, I mean, what was the worst part about it, do you think? I don't know if we can rank him or not, but I mean, he flipped off the crowd, obviously. You can't say what he said about the sponsor. That had to have been the number one thing I would think for Dana White. What he said about his wife, and also just getting in Mir's face. I mean, the whole thing you thought was bad, or was there one thing that really stood out?
To me, that just getting in Mir's face is the worst about anything. You know what I'm saying? He can pretty much say what he wants to be portrayed however he wants. You know, I'm not always perfect when I go in there and I do my thing. People can criticize what I do. But I just thought, for me, it was just to getting back in Frank Mir's face after he just knocked him out. The guy was barely even conscious. That to me was just like, that's not cool, you know?
Yeah, well, because you blew a kiss before, right?
Yeah. Actually, I blew a kiss and I kind of grabbed myself. But
yeah, right.
I didn't even think it was just like something I just kind of reacted and did it. And you know what? People have a lot to say about it. Even my mom has something to say about it. Even my mom gave me the business about it. So, you know, I'm not one to sit up there and say you should be, you know. I can't say somebody should be perfect when they go in there and their actions should be perfect, because I'm not that guy either. But I thought going in the guy's face after he knocked him out was a little too far. That's just me, my personal opinion. How
do you rebound after what happened to you in your last fight? And that was a pretty devastating knockout you endured. How do you come back from something of that nature? That was awful.
You just accept it for what it was. You know, I went in there and got my butt kicked. You know, hands down. Got it whooped, you know, and I never lost before, and to accept what actually happened will help me move on further, because now I accepted it, what happened, and I watched the video and I've seen images of it, and I'm not haunted by it. You know, it's not going to haunt me. It's going to propel me to move forward and amend the mistakes that led me to get knocked out in the first place. I'll never say I'll never lose again and get knocked out, but that's just another side of the fight game, which I've yet to experience. You know, now I understand that reality is out there. Now I understand that can happen to me. I'll be more vigilant and careful about the things that I do allow in my camp that may distract me, or things that I do allow that may take me from where I want to be and may end up for me having results like that.
So you're over it then?
Oh, yeah, I'm over it. I accepted it, and I mean, I don't care who talks about it or say, hey, you know, earlier today, my son, he seen a pimple on my face, and he said, "What happened? You get knocked out?"
No. Did he really?
I was like, "Man, this kid is 2 years old," and he's like, "What happened? You get knocked out?" And I'm like, "Man, I don't get knocked out, you know." And then my daughter, she's like, "Daddy, I was, you know, for Father's Day, I was gonna get you something." I said, "What's that, baby?" She said, "Daddy, I was gonna get you your belt back because you lost it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." She was gonna make me a belt because I lost my belt for Father's Day, you know.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You learn, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, coming up next weekend, Friday into Saturday, we want to thank you for being a part of it, the 24-hour talk show here in Las Vegas, where listeners and fans of the sport can bid an hour to do an hour of radio with you and guys like Dana White and Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture, and it all goes to the Caring Place, Rashad, a facility here in Las Vegas for everybody touched by cancer. It's a free facility as well. And for doing an hour of radio, what do you? I mean, the people that want to bid on your hour, what do you? You're willing to talk about anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about anything, man. I'll talk about anything. You know, I can't go into depth about the show, but I'll definitely, talk about anything they want to talk about. If they want to talk about me, how much they hate me, we can talk about that too.
Can you? I mean, so what? When the show starts, you gotta sign. I mean, just like everybody has to sign a piece of paper that says nothing. You can't say anything at all.
Yeah. As soon as the show starts, as soon as you walk in those doors, you gotta sign a paper that says you can't say or talk about anything that happens.
Pretty tough to do that.
It is, but you know what? You have the people who experience it with you to talk about it too. So by the time you get in the real world, you kind of don't even want to talk about it because you exhausted.
Yeah.
You talked about it, the death of the people that was actually there.